Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to yet another one of my live streams of Picking Up the Pieces. We're going to get serious today. How serious is serious? Well, we're going to get to that in probably the next 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to let everyone start making their way in. We're going to start tackling this subject pretty hardcore. I expect a lot of folks to be in here. What's going on, Chairman? Early evening, that's right. But we're going to get serious this time around. The situation has gotten, I guess you could say, hey, what's going on, Nat? Our kissable demon is here. Welcome to the live stream. We are now at the stage where it has been long enough since Princess Faye and I have talked. We may have to break some rules. So we're going to stay live for around an hour. When I call for a 10-minute marker, if I do not see a message pop up on my phone, we're going to put the heat to the fire today. We're really going to put the heat to the fire. How hardcore are we going? We're going to take something, we're going to have to cross a moral line, okay? But remember what I keep saying the last couple of days. What's going on, Danny? Remember what I've said the last few days. What may be right isn't always popular, and what's right isn't always popular. What's up, man? Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. And y'all know by the attire that I'm wearing, I mean what I say. So I'm going to give Princess Faye a chance before we go this far. I mean, we're still going to go this far, but we're not going to go as far, hopefully not as far as we have to go today. Because I've talked to about 3 of you that sometimes you just got to go to that next level. You know, sometimes you have to, absolutely, to save somebody's life. Sometimes you have to cross some moral bridges. So that's where we stand right now, okay? We have my wife who is in potential danger right now with drug addiction, alcoholism, hurting herself, cutting on herself. We don't know to what degree this might have actually reached. We don't know. And now back in the waiting arms of her, hey, what's up, Mike G? Back in the waiting arms of her abusive parents. So that's what we're going to be dealing with in this stream. We may have to take it to the next level. I will stay live for about an hour. But but when I call for the 10-minute warning, we're going to hopefully we don't have to cross those bridges. Maybe she'll listen this time, because if this is what it takes to take away the enablers and take away the people that are really abusing her, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do whatever it takes, like the title says, whatever it takes. When y'all got to understand, I love that woman. And after we get her straightened out, if she really, really and truthfully wants to leave, then that's fine. At least I know she's safe. And she's welcome to hate me for the rest of her life after that. But at least I know she'll be safe. We've already shouted out the fact that her father has sexually assaulted her, and some of you even know the details, okay? Which at the 10-minute marker, we may go into those details. Those gruesome details that everyone is sitting there going, holy crap. That's what we do want. So Mike G, if you've been keeping up, which I'm pretty sure you have to some degree, with everything going on, we're now at the stage where Princess Faye has now basically placed herself in danger to that point. So we got time. It's now time for her to listen to someone who actually does truly love her. That's where we're at on this. Whatever it takes. Because I know the heat's on. What's going on, Loco? Welcome to the live stream. My wife left me Saturday night. That's all we can do. And we're now at the stage where I may have to cross. Thank you. I like that. I like that. Keep it funky and chunky. Absolutely. And again, you know, we're now at the stage where I did not know to the degree that my wife was sick. We're talking drug addiction, and yeah, the drug that we knew of is pretty mild compared to others, but it was still serious, okay? Bear in mind, in this stream, we don't belittle anybody who suffers from mental and emotional disabilities. We don't look down our nose at that. And Princess Faye is very sick right now. She's very sick. Okay. She doesn't have to show up in the stream. I just got to see the message. So at the 10-minute marker, we may have to break some rules that we're going to have to cross some moral lines. We're going to have to put the heat to the, we're going to have to turn that heat up. Absolutely. Absolutely. And see, the more and more with the self-mutilation, we don't know to the degree of the drug use. We know that she was smoking pot. Now, I know some of y'all out there are pretty cool with, that idea, but you also got to understand that there is a fine line that we sometimes cross. Here in the state of Missouri, absolutely, absolutely. So, what are we talking about doing? Well, we're past the 5-minute marker. How far am I willing to go? Well, we all know what town she's, her parents are in. If I do not see that message at the 10-minute marker, when I go to shut down this stream, I will give names. I will give names this time. I will give the names of her parents so we can apply the heat, because it's time they face justice anyways. They're already now, I know by now, the police department over there knows exactly that they have no choice but to do something about it. So they're going to have no choice but to start doing something at some point. They're just, right now, they're with all of you sharing this out and the information getting out that they dropped the ball, right now they're worried. Now, if any of you are thinking that this is in that realm of doxing, because for the longest time I didn't even know what that was, someone had to explain it to me. Bear in mind, anybody can look up anybody. That is public information. That is under the Patriot Act and the Freedom of Information Act, okay? So because of that, we have not crossed, yes, it is a moral gray area, but to save someone's life, is it wrong? And many of you have already said, hell to the fucking no. It is not wrong to save somebody's life. With her cutting, for all we know, she could have been, we don't know to the extent of the drug use. For all we know, she could have even been shooting up heroin. There's still the Freedom of Information Act as well. And anybody can look up anybody. Y'all can even look me up. I know I've had people look me up before. It is what it is. I've had random people just, ring me up. And it's like, do I know you? I know you from your YouTube channel. Okay. I know you from Facebook. All righty then, So we're at that stage, okay? So that is an actual thing. So even though the Patriot Act doesn't mean what it means, there is still the Freedom of Information Act, and you could look anybody up, okay? So at this point, if this is what it takes to get her home safe and to get her the help she truly needs, because we got an awesome treatment center in the area. Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah, I didn't know who it was. I didn't recognize the number. But we're back to how far am I willing to protect her? And again, once she gets the help, I'll even go in with her. I'm going to need nuts and bolts tightened down myself at this point. Okay? I'm going to need nuts and bolts tightened down. But folks, if this is what it takes, it's not a gray area at that point. It's more black and white than you think. If this is what it takes to protect her, to get those people brought to justice and get her home, because I know somewhere she's been watching in the background. How far am I willing to go at this point to make sure she's safe? To take care of her, get her straightened out. And again, if after she, we get the help, I'll go in with her. If at the end of it all, she still doesn't want nothing to do with me, at least I'll understand that. That's the way it was supposed to be to begin with. And again, I want you all to remember from the bottom of my heart, I love that woman. I love her more than you can imagine. Okay? And I am not guiltless in this marriage. I have screwed up. I have screwed up majorly. Thick and thin. Okay? Thick and thin. But one thing's for sure. I love her. Even as screwed up as I am. Even as messed up as she is herself. Neither one of us are guiltless in this marriage. It takes two to screw it up too. But you know what? I blame myself for being blind to the real situation. This is what it takes sometimes. And basically this is an intervention. This is an intervention from her husband who loves her. This is how far we're willing to go. And like I said before the stream, I talked to a lot of you asking, do you think I'm doing right? And many of you have said, yeah, at this point, you really got no choice. Your ass is against the wall here, man. Absolutely. And alcoholism, drug addiction, mental illness, these are serious subjects that we're dealing with. Okay? So when I come on in my Punisher gear, I'm getting serious at this point. We got to do what it takes. Yes, like I said, I have screwed up and I've screwed up bad. I'm not going to deny it. But at least, absolutely, do whatever it takes. But to my knowledge, the Freedom of Information Act is still available. Anybody can look up anybody. So that's how far I'm willing to go this time. And I know if enough heat is brought down on her parents, they will have to face justice. Absolutely. Thank you, Danny. I'll tell y'all a funny story. Back when Princess Faye and I first got married, I don't normally do anything like this. I don't believe in doing anything like this. We actually had a free reading from a group of psychics. And they all got together, surrounded us, and had us in their little group. And they actually said to us, and they're like, well, this sounds so cliche, you two complete each other, And normally I don't, that's not my thing. I don't believe in anything like that. That's not, I'm a firm believer that you make your own destiny. But in this case, I was actually stunned by, yeah, that's really how I feel. I love that woman. I love her. She is my everything. And, to be put in a moral compromising position like this does break my heart. But the thing of it is how far do I have to go to make sure she's safe? Okay. Nocturnal Ninja, I'll have to double check that. Okay. So you guys understand that, I'm being basically placed in a moral dilemma at this point. And at this point, I'll even suggest that all of you share it out to any place you possibly can. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. We need to get the word out. This has to be an intervention. We're dealing with something serious that could lead to someone's harm or worse. Okay? Because how long is she going to, before she ends up like my sponsee, Zach? I'm not ready to be a widow. That's where I stand on this. I love my wife. She deserves the best. And if going against so many different morals to get her home by any, basically that by any means necessary, doing whatever it takes, that's what we're going to do. I remember in an AA meeting telling the story about Tanya, and folks would go up to her afterwards and say, I believe Tanya brought you to Prince Magnum, crying. And she always say, nobody brought me here. I came on my own accord. I always believe that she may have came on her own accord, but at least Tanya brought her to me because she knew I needed someone to complete me, someone special. I know I've fucked up in our marriage. I wish I could take it back. But that's just it. Even after that, if she won, hey, what's going on, Queen Bee? Like I said, I've talked to you a lot about the decision that I'm stuck with today. You know, we've been live for almost, finally and alive. Okay, Queen Bee, you know the gear is on, whatever it takes. Basically, this is an intervention. And I'm giving Princess Faye till about 10 minutes before the live stream is shut down. And then we're going to start giving the names of her parents. We've already given the name, yeah. Okay, okay. So we're now in a situation where now we have to take an intervention by any means necessary. And I know some of y'all saying that's not right, that's not right. You guys got to understand. We're in a moral dilemma. Okay? We're in a moral dilemma. We know that Princess Faye has a history of alcoholism. We know that she's been using drugs. We know that she's been self-harming. And again, with that story of how we met, when I bought her that plane ticket, she came here hoping that I was some sort of psychotic serial killer, hoping that I would do the job for her. She actually admitted they're dragging their heels. That's why the last two streams we have blasted her story, enough of her story about her parents. But tonight, we may have to go further and give the names of her parents. So this is the intervention. I know she doesn't want her parents to have to see justice, but the time is now for her to actually seek the help that she needs. She needs to actually listen for a change. She does, and her sister is just as screwed up. By any means necessary, even if it means crossing a moral line. Now again, because of the Freedom of Information Act, anybody can look up anybody. Again, I've had people look me up, YouTube, people right here on YouTube that I didn't even know, call me up and say, hey man, I was in your live stream the other day. I'm like, what the fuck? Who are you? So it's legal. No, I can't. Basically, the plates on Project Lena And we run into the law problem because the law isn't doing anything up there. All right? The law is not doing anything up there to listen. They think that I'm an irate husband. I am irate, but for good reason. Because of all the information that we have found out, we didn't know to the degree it was. Okay? We're now at the stage where we have to take an intervention. And the intervention is, look, I know you don't want me to go that far. I will go that far if this is what it takes for me to get you home so you're safe. Her parents still need to see justice. But if the names are out there, the justice will come a lot quicker. They did this to her. Well, yeah, I mean, of course I'm worried. That's my wife. I love her, okay? I did not know to the degree of what was going on. No, Spirit couldn't, even if Spirit wasn't banged up, she would never make the trip right now. Her engine is just too old, too damn tired, and things like that. And she's starting, things are starting to wear out on her. So it would actually require the next best thing, which is getting, she's ready for a rebuilt engine. Basically, I had to start kind of asking around. Okay. I had to start asking around and I started finding things out. Certain things I already knew and I started putting the puzzle together. She'd already admitted to me that she was self-harming. I already knew the story about her dad sexually assaulting her. And yes, it is sexual assault. Folks, I still got her ring ready for, if she wants to rebuild this, that's fine. Yeah, her parents are on Facebook. So, well, I know her mother is. And folks, to tell you how serious it is, over here is where I do all. Ian, that's funny. Right on my desk where I do all my editing. Right there. That's how. So, that's where we're at on this. How far am I willing to? Newbie noob. This is what it takes. Folks, I am an emotionally distraught husband, but not for the reasons you think. That is my wife. I want the best for her. And if going this far is what it takes. Okay, Mikey G. Well, at the 10-minute marker, I've got my license, but, we're at that stage, And let me tell y'all, okay? Even Princess Faye was even telling me as she got closer to 18, her dad was sitting there, right? Was practically making sexual advances at her, okay? As she got closer to 18. We already know he's an avid drug user. And her mom is one of those, manipulating types that's to the point where it's ridiculous. We haven't got, unfortunately, I can't even afford that right now. We're in, I'm stuck waiting on the new job to say, hey, man, we got your background check. Come on to work. They're dragging their heels on it. But then again, anything like that is government based and nobody gets in a hurry there. If you ever want to see the efficiency of your government, just look no further than your military. Hurry up and wait here in the United States with your military. Right. That's where we're at on this. So we're now at that stage where the heat has to be turned up. We got to make it uncomfortable. The intervention is on. What, I'm sure they know by now because I've been out here talking, you know, saying what needs to be said. And again, don't know. But now it's gotten serious enough. Okay. How far am I willing to go at this point? Obviously within the confines of the law, but we're going to have to cross over some moral ground. Okay. Well, I'll be here for a minute. We're not quite to the half hour marker. As we get closer to that 1 hour, that's when the intervention is on. You know, her mother was mentally abusive. Her father, obviously, a downright creep. I know, there's always going to be that one person. That's fine, whatever it takes. But there's always going to be that moment you're in a situation that you got to go to the lengths that it takes. Many of you already know how I feel about this. I don't like it. I don't like being put in this position where I got to question moral ground. I don't like it at all. But everyone I've talked to, and I've talked to 3 of you that have said, do whatever it takes. I didn't realize it was going to have to come to all of this. I never thought that I would have to do anything like this. I don't like this. I hate this. But I know what it's going to take. Don't worry, Queen, we'll be here for a minute. You take care of you too, because it's going to take all of us. And again, I ask you all to continue to share this out because this is an intervention. And with her drug use, there's an awesome treatment center right here in town. I'm not kidding you. It's amazing. I wasn't actually admitted to that treatment center, but I've been in it as an AA speaker. And it's a fantastic treatment center. They're amazing over there. Wonderful. And I've seen a lot of people get help and come out and stay sober for a very, very long time. It's time for her to seek that treatment. You know, Ian, you know the drill. We talked. And, this is where we're at. The, doing whatever it takes. That's where we're at on all of this. When you have, basically, how far do you have to go to prove you still love someone? And, that's how I feel. She is my everything. Again, I ask y'all to continue to share this out. Tell everyone you know. Post it on every platform you could think of. Got to get the word out. We got to do what it takes. This is an intervention at this point. Yes, you are. You're an amazing content creator, Ian. And you're a dear friend. You've helped me a lot through this mess, talking with me and getting me through. But, you know, here we are now. For all we know, she could have been doing hard drugs, serious hard drugs. We don't know. And she could even have done this to... it's just simple notification. My messenger is up right now, so I'm actually waiting to see if Princess Faye takes this serious, because we are going to go that serious if necessary. She needs to be home long enough to get her the help she needs. And if she still feels the same way, that she doesn't want to be around me and hates my guts, I can live with that. But at least then I know she stands a chance. Because we often had, you know, when we had our problems about 3 years back. Yes, we'll be closing down my old Discord, and I'll be full-time on Ian, on the one that Ian started. We're joining forces on Discord. And the reason why we're joining forces on Discord is just hard for me to keep up with everything. Yeah, it's just the sounds exclusively, I guess, to Motorola phones. I really don't like it, but it is what it is. She is my everything, though. That's what this is all about. You know, I don't know how she's doing, Mikey G. I don't know, brother. She took off Saturday night as we were closing out the Save the World stream. And I didn't realize to the extent that it was. I've been finding out there's drug abuse, including prescription drugs. And on top of that, she's been drinking, self-harming, cutting herself, suicidal thoughts, things like that. She transported, thinking that this is okay, she transported illegally a prescription medication across state lines. That, without a prescription, that is illegal. Very illegal. Federal offense. Okay? She did it while possibly taking it with an animal in the car. Galaxy. Animal endangerment. Where in this is it okay? I understand, Mikey G. Where in this is it okay? No one sane would think this is okay. Okay? So obviously she doesn't need prosecution, but she needs help to think. No one in their right mind would think that this is okay, except someone who is mentally ill. Does she not think for a second that this is okay? You know, no, it's not. I know she's in Beaverton, Oregon. Don't know exactly where. You would think she's at her parents', because that's who was manipulating her. And again, I blasted this out, and we're going to continue to blast it. Her father has sexually assaulted her before. The Beaverton, Oregon Police Department knows this. knows what's going on, and has done nothing. To get her out of the situation, get her the help that she needs. Serve and protect. That is the motto of all police departments. That's why this is an intervention. Anywhere you could share this stream, that is what it takes. Now, for the record, I'm waiting to see Messenger open and Princess Faye say, okay, I'm ready to listen. If she does not listen to this intervention, we will go live again right directly afterwards. If she does not take me seriously on how far it's going to take to get her how far all of us are willing to go to get her help, we will go to the next level. I will give the names of her parents, which under the Freedom of Information Act is not illegal. It does cross over into moral ground. We didn't know how bad it had gotten, Mike G. We didn't know how bad it had gotten. But this is an intervention. And again, when she came out here, she openly admitted to me that she was hoping that I was some sort of psychotic serial killer. That's how bad her parents had messed her up. And again, the closer she got to 18, her dad was basically, I mean, it might as well have been sexual advances at her. Openly admitted this to me. We are now under 20 minutes to go before we have to go to that next level. And again, this is not against any law here in the United States. Anybody can look up anybody. It is, Chairman. It is, brother. But how far do we have to go to get her parents brought to justice and get her to somewhere safe? How far do we have to go? Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, Chairman. That's some crazy stuff right there. Dang, man. So you get it then. You get it. So we're now at that stage where we're put in a moral position. We are in a moral dilemma. I know, brother. I know. There really isn't much to say other than to do the next right thing and put the pressure where it needs to be. So again, if you have the capability of sharing this out on any platform you can to get the word out, this is an intervention. Whatever it takes to save someone's life. Because I'll tell you, I can't imagine this world without her. This world needs Princess Faye. This world needs her even more than me. Not saying that I'm not special or important. But she's gonna, Bitsy, we're about to cross over into a gray area. As we get closer to the time, to a 10-minute marker, Okay, as we get closer to a time, I will be giving the names of her parents out to put enough pressure on the authorities to bring them to justice. I know she doesn't want me to have to go that far to put that much pressure on, but we have to take away the manipulating enablers. We have to do that. And especially the ones that are going to cause her more harm than good. We have to go to that level. So you know when this Punisher gear goes on, how serious it's gotten. And I know, again, some of you are saying, well, technically it's no. There is the Freedom of Information Act. You can get any information on anybody you want. Again, I have had people come up to me, or call me on my personal phone and say, hey man, I know you from YouTube. Like, what the fuck? Who are you? It's like that. So if this is what obviously her parents need to go see justice anyways, because they damaged her in a way that it's going to take a long time for her to be fixed. And the drug addiction is real. We don't even know to what degree. I mean, we know about the pot smoking, but how serious is it? Could she have even made all these excuses because she's in over her head with drug dealers? We don't know. We don't know. We don't even know to the degree. She needs treatment. She needs help. But she's not going to get it there. Already, we know that her father, again, sexually assaulted her. We know that her mother is mentally abusive. We know that her family is a bunch of manipulators. So whatever it takes. So when I call for the 10-minute warning, I expect that Princess Faye well, here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to apply the heat with names at this point if she does not respond. This is her intervention. It's time to listen. Okay? Yes, I'm an irate husband, but for damn good reason. You're going to go back into the bosom of a father that again, sexually assaulted you. It classifies as sexual assault. She was 14 years old, you piece of shit. And then as she got closer to 18, was actually making, it might as well have been sexual advances to her. She's 28 years old now. And so messed up. Again, I'm not saying I'm not, no, don't do that. What I would say is it's time. No, that's not what I want. I want him to have to face justice. And I want my wife safe. Doing whatever it takes within reason of the law. Okay? Thank you. That is not how we operate here. He needs to face justice. Beaverton, Oregon Police Department, you dropped the ball. You did not listen to me. You didn't want to listen. You wanted to believe that, the one and only time she's able to actually say something, You listen to someone who's actively using drugs, okay, and actively drinking and abusing prescription drugs, okay. Where in this is it okay? Protect and serve. And you didn't listen. If this is what it takes. And since, you know, basically you have a wife that was manipulated into, basically being back with her abusive parents. I know her sister was involved. She's now an accessory to this. Which now makes her just as liable. So we're getting close to that moral dilemma situation. Don't do it like that, but I think it's about time that the police get enough heat that they'll actually take him in. Enough heat. She is not able to make those decisions anymore. Not now. Within reason of the law, he needs to face justice. And again, through the Freedom of Information Act, you look anybody up. So we're now in that moral gray area. We're getting close to that moment where I'm going to be announcing a 10-minute marker Princess Faye will have by, until basically she's got to, when I call that 10-minute marker, if I do not see, okay, we need to talk, I'm willing to listen. We'll shut the stream down if she does. If not, we will give the names of her parents. And we'll put the pressure on through the law. I ask that everyone who can continue to share the stream out, every platform. I don't even care if it's right here on YouTube. This is an intervention. That's what it needs to be, an intervention. We've been live now for a grand total of almost 49 minutes. I ask that you guys don't do anything to that degree. I ask that you all stay within the confines of the law, because that's not what needs to happen, anything bad like that. So I ask that you all continue to bear in mind, this is not for anyone to be hurt. It's to bring someone to justice. Beaverton, Oregon Police, you know what it takes sometimes. Sometimes this is as deep of an intervention as it can get. But I've been put in a moral dilemma. You guys have left me no choice. You have not brought these people to justice. You have not listened to me. You've not listened to the community at large. When a person is unable to make those decisions, you sometimes have to make those decisions yourself. As a husband, I am willing to press those charges. They will face justice regardless, but if it takes putting the names out to see that justice, I will go to that length. I ask that you all, again, respect the confines of the law and put the pressure where it needs to be. My wife has went through enough. I see already a grand total of 42 likes. Thank you guys so much. That's what I could see. And again, share this out to everyone. Thank you, Bitsy. Appreciate that. When you love someone this deep, how far are you willing to go? Whatever it takes. And that's the stage that we're now in. Again, yeah, I know there's going to be always a couple people that don't like how far you might have to go. And I'm going to remind everyone, what's right isn't popular sometimes. What's popular isn't always right. We're now at that 10-minute marker. Right? We're now at that 10-minute marker. I am going, the heat is now on. Princess Faye, the clock is ticking, my dear. I love you. I don't want to have to do the next step to get you home where you're safe and sound and that sort of thing. But the next step is what's about to happen. So if you are watching, I'm very serious. The clock is now ticking. You now need to send me that message. Because if not, we're going to put pressure on. Whatever it takes. Again, I remind everyone, stay within the confines of the law. We will give names at this stage of the game. And if that doesn't get her attention, we will actually describe what her dad did. With his name. So, we're now past the 10-minute marker. The clock is ticking. And I know she's watching in the background. I know she's sitting there going, please don't do this. They're abusive. They manipulated you. I know you think I'm the world's worst person, but we are now at that stage where the intervention is real. They still need to see justice, but if going to this level is what it takes, then I'm willing to do it. We're giving that, I've just given that 10-minute marker. Right after, we've been live for a little, at 53 minutes. I gave that 10-minute marker at about the 50. When we hit the 1 hour, that's when it's getting serious. So, this is what it takes. Hopefully, I don't have to do that. Don't do that. Again, I remind you all, stay within the confines of the law. Okay? This is not the Wild West. Okay? We are not looking for vigilante justice. We're looking for justice. Her dad and mother need to be in front of a judge for this. Thank you. Thank you, Ian. Plain and simple. They need to be in front of a judge for their crimes. Again, I remind everyone that I am just as guilty in this marriage. More than anything, I thought things were okay, but they were worse than I thought. And a lot of this started when she started working night shift. She got too hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. The tired part mainly. Maybe, I could have done better. No, pizza, don't do that. But I do want you to share this out. Get the information out. Dude needs to be locked up. Okay? Again, he sexually assaulted her at the age of 14. And the closer she got to 18, he was making passes at her. How freaking creepy do you have to be, dude? And we know he's an avid drug user. Okay? And granted, the drug isn't that bad, but drugs are still drugs. And there's a reason why in a lot of states it's still mandatory. You have to have a prescription for it. There's a reason for it. Because we're not all doctors. Again, I don't want anyone to be angry with Princess Faye. This is not her fault. I thought she was getting, I thought things were better. This is not her fault. She's sick and needs help. This is not, we're not looking for vigilante justice. This is not the Wild West. Okay? Granted, if in another time, another place, that would have been okay, but we don't do that anymore. Yeah, probably. We have 4 minutes left. Okay? The heat is on. We're down to 3 minutes, okay, folks, before I have to go public with names. So I, again, remind everyone, remember, this is not the Wild West. Justice does need to be served, but it needs to be served in a courtroom. She's not able to make those decisions herself. I love that woman by any means necessary within the confines of the law. People are probably on fire, pissed off. Like, how could, folks, enough's enough. We already have the name of the town. We are less than 2 minutes away. Mikey G, how far do we have to go to save someone's life? Do I feel it's the right decision? I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even have a clue. I'm at a moral dilemma to protect my wife. Okay. We're not releasing the hounds, but we're going to turn the authorities, we're going to put the authorities' feet to the fire. I'm watching the clock. I'm watching that timer. We are now at that time. We are now at that time. I never thought I would have to do this. I never thought I'd be put in a moral dilemma like this. Not for a few days. Not for a few days, Mike G. I got to make more coffee. Okay. Again, if you even have the capabilities of calling the Oregon City Police Department and reporting his name, her father, which I will give what he did to her. His name is Eric Carter of Beaverton, Oregon. I cannot give an address. That crosses over into Morrill area. But through the Freedom of Information Act, it is up to you guys to get the information to the Oregon City Police Department and put the pressure on. I expect the phones to be ringing off the hook to the point where they have no choice but to listen. This is the sexual assault that he did. Okay, he needs to be brought to justice. Her father, Eric Carter, Princess Faye was in the shower, getting a shower, and forgot to take a towel in. She then asked her dad for a towel. He got it and made her come out into the living room so he could look at her at the age of 14. That is sexual assault, sexual abuse. My wife has always been top heavy. She cried. She cried when he did this to her. So Eric Carter, I hope they arrest you now. Leah Carter of Beaverton, Oregon, was the person that manipulated her and made her so depressed. The mental abuse needs to be brought to light. Folks, I expect you to start calling the Oregon City Police Department and push for this man's for their arrest. And if they're working anywhere, they need to actually lose their jobs. They need to be brought to justice. They need to be treated They need to be brought to justice. Princess Faye is not able to press those charges. She's not mentally stable. Ian, we talked about that. Yes, I know I did that. Like I said, I screwed up in our marriage. But you know what? I'm not without guilt. I screwed up. But I know this much. I love that woman, and if this is what it takes to get her the help she needs, then so be it. Make sure those phones are ringing off the hook. Don't do anything drastic. Keep it within the confines of the law. And that's the goddamn Wild West, folks. Make those phones ring off the hook. We need to get her home. Folks, and moderators are going to start swinging those wrenches hard, okay? Don't do that. That is not what this is about. They need to be brought to justice, not vigilante justice. They need to be in front of judges. We have to do what it takes. The police department needs to go over there. They need to arrest them. They need to see justice for everything they did to my beautiful wife, because they broke her. Welcome back, Queen. We just gave out that information. They did this to her. I ask you all to stay within the confines of the law. Oregon City Police, need to go over there and make the arrest. They need to see justice. I didn't want to have to do it, but it came to that point. And folks, to show you how real I am, Ian is my brother. Him and I talked about this long before this. And he also knows that I've been in a moral dilemma. Folks, he's going to start swinging that wrench. Ian's a good man. He's an honest man. And he is my brother. I would go to hell and back for him. They need to see actual real justice, go in front of a judge, and they need to, yes. Better Business Bureau. Not yet. Make their phones ring off the hook. They have no choice now. They have to make a decision what's morally right. Yes, they were right. I am an irate husband. Folks, he's going to swing that wrench. He's a good man. He's an honest man. And I'll tell you right now, Ian's one of the coolest people I know. He's helped me through this whole mess. And him and I actually had no choice. We talked about this. Thank you. Don't do anything stupid. Use your heads, folks. All it's going to do is just make things worse. Okay? Vigilante justice just makes it worse. Because then it'll make them out to be martyrs. Vigilante justice never served anything. Ian knows that I've also been in a moral dilemma on this. That I didn't want to do anything like this. But this is an intervention. If you cut the ties from the folks that have been basically putting Ian, you know how I feel about all this. You understand. You know that I had no choice. Don't you dare, folks. I'll even get up there. Folks, I'm swinging my wrench. No, that is my brother. And I know he's upset that I felt that I had to do this. And we even talked about this before the stream. And you knew how far I had to go. And you even told me, I get it, brother. It was the best thing I could do. No, that is my brother. He knows I had no choice. He also knows that I didn't want to have to do anything like this. Folks, I'm going to start swinging my wrench. I will defend him because he knows that I've been in a situation that we got to get her to where she's safe. And he even agreed with me, but he also is afraid of the stupidity of some people. Vigilante justice never solves anything, guys. It just continues. Guys, I know he talks to Princess Faye. We've all been friends. We've all got through together with a lot. That is my brother. And he knows that like I said, start making those phones ring over there at the Beaverton, Oregon Police Department. Get the word out. It's up to us now to put the pressure on the authorities to do what's necessary. They need to be behind bars. And again, this is legal through the Freedom of Information Act. They broke my wife, and I failed putting her back together. He's not holding her hostage, but he has sexually assaulted her. But her parents manipulated her into believing that I was the world's worst thing. No, he is not. And he knows. Thank you, Queen. He knows that I was put in this position, and he doesn't like it as much as I do. Absolutely. I don't like this any more than you guys. I hate it. I'm going to probably go throw up after this. I never thought I had to go this far. And I hate myself for it. because he cares. He's a good man. That's why. Ian, we'll talk after this. You know how it feels for me. And I didn't want to have to go to this length. But you are my brother. You know that we had even talked about this beforehand. You even told me, by any means necessary, brother, you know what you got to do. We did it. We have to do what it takes to get the word out, to stop this. And believe me when I say, I hate myself. Princess Faye can hate me after this. Thank you, Mike G. But she is my wife. Ian is my brother. And I believe him. Thank you. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. And I know he's having a hard time. He's struggling because we even talked about this beforehand. He knew that what I was going to do. That's fine. But Ian is my brother. And he knows that I was put in a position. And he knows I love him. Folks, make those phones ring over there. And him and I talked about this. He knew that I would have to go this far. If she didn't listen. But we've done what we've done. It's up to you guys. Share the stream out. Get the word out. Let's get them to justice. Right. No, you're fine, Queen. Princess Faye is sick and needs help. Let's get her home. Let's get her some help. This is an intervention. From the bottom of my heart, I love that woman. Well, honey, if you're watching, you knew that I meant what I said. You knew that I would have to step up and do what was necessary. You may hate me for it. Not yet. You may hate me for it. But if I know you get the help that you need, and you still hate me afterwards, I can at least live with that. Because you deserve the best. You are the best. You are everything to me. And if making you hate me is what it takes, thank you, Mike G. If making you hate me is what it takes, I can live with that. So I ask all of you to make those phones ring in Beaverton, Oregon, over there at that police department, and make them do their job. going on, Steven? We're getting ready to shut down the stream, so you kind of missed all the excitement. Recommend you watch the playback, brother. You guys know I love her. She is my everything. Right on, right on. So let's show some love. Let's do the right thing. Hold everyone you know close. Don't take anything for granted. And as we shut down the stream, I want to remind you all, if no one has told any of you that they love you today, even the names I had to mention today, no one's told you that they love you. Prince Magnum does. God bless you. And have a happy 24. Thank you.